Hello and welcome to the Family Camping Europe YouTube channel.
If you hadn't already guessed, we love camping. After meeting on a campsite in France, we got married, started growing our family and made it our mission to spend our family holidays exploring Europe, chasing the sun, jumping in pools and making the best family memories. So, if you love camping and exploring too, hit the little subscribe button to keep updated with our hints, tips and reviews.
This week our video is coming from a super wet and super stormy Ardèche, where we are staying at Le Ranc de Veynes campsite. We are staying with Eurocamp inside a 2-bedroom classic mobile home. I'm going to show you around the campsite and I'm going to show you all the fun we get up to in the local area. So keep watching. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button.
Our first few days at Ranc de Veynes were filled with rain, storms and a whole lot of wind. It wasn't exactly the start we'd expected after a beautiful drive through the Ardèche mountains to get here. Still, without letting a little rain dampen our spirits, we set out and explored the campsite puddle by puddle. The campsite was much larger than we expected, so it's unsurprising that it hosts a whopping almost 10,000 metres squared of aquatic areas. There are 2 pool areas on the campsite. The first is a small relaxing pool at the campsite entrance, and the second is a massive aquatic centre in the heart of the campsite. This area is newly renovated with a giant dome and brand new water slides. We spent every single morning here.
You like it? Yeah. You okay? Yeah.
It's phenomenal. It's the best aquatic park we've ever been to on a campsite. It has a lazy river, swimming pools, wave pools, toddler pools, shallow and splash areas, water slides, and that's all just under the dome. There's even more outside where you have plenty of other swimming spaces, toddler areas and even more water slides. We loved the rocky design of the outdoor area as it was really fitting with the Ardèche surroundings, but it's not great if you are not so good at climbing rocks. After a day at the pool, we mostly went to the bar for ice cream. As you know, I have an ice cream addicted 3-year-old and now an ice cream addicted 1-year-old too. However, I did find the bar and the ice cream stand organisation a little frustrating. You couldn't order drinks at the ice cream area and you couldn't order ice cream at the bar, so you end up in a 20 deep queue for both. One day we queued for over 20 minutes, we decided to cut our losses and went downstairs to the shop and bought some from a packet. You can enter the shop via a lift in the bar area, which was very handy for us with a pushchair, but there was also some stairs outside. The next morning we woke up and it was another rainy day. We decided rather than to let it get to us, we'd find an indoor day out. We had a look around the receptions and figured that visiting one of the caves in the Ardèche would be a good idea. We chose to visit Grotte la Coquelière, I think it's pronounced, as it has a fun tourist train at the end for children. We ended up on a lovely guided tour exploring the stalagmites and stalactites in one of the most beautiful caves in France. However, we have restless children, and trying to get them to stay quiet for a guide to address the other guests was a very tough challenge. After a morning at the cave, we headed back to Ranc for lunch, pool, and obviously some ice cream. On our third day, the rain finally stopped and we decided to explore the Chassezac the river that's connected to the campsite. I always thought it was the Ardèche River, but it's not. It's the Chasserzec. I'm writing it because, you know, I don't know what I'm saying right now. The pebbles and the rocks kept the children amused for a while. However, the cold chill in the air was still too much for us, and we really didn't last long outside. We got dried up and headed out to explore some more. This time we headed to where the relaxing pool was. Not to go to the pool, but to check out the secret chilled out bar and park that they had here.
You wanna what? Are you? Can you jump?
That afternoon, we just chilled at the mobile home waiting for the sun to finally come out. Once it did, we headed for our usual ice cream. How many ice creams do you think we've had on this trip? But this time, we were met with a scary dinosaur offering discounts for guests who wanted to visit the nearby Dinopedia Park. However, based on the fear in my 3-year-old's eyes when the dinosaur came close to us, we definitely chose to avoid that day out. But if we weren't going to see the dinosaurs, what could we do on day 4? We had a think over some pizza from the takeaway and planned our adventure for the next day. And we decided to visit the beautiful city of Avignon and the Pont du Gard. Avignon is around an hour and a half from the campsite, but it's an absolutely stunning city which we couldn't miss while we were in the south of France. The weather was lovely and the streets were empty enough for our 3-year-old to ride her scooter around. After exploring the city, we headed to this famous Roman aqueduct called the Pont du Gard. It is a World Heritage Site and one of France's most popular tourist attractions. It's free to enter and walk along the bridge, however parking is €9 per car. While there, we walked along the adjacent bridge and caught some fish in the river. We could have spent loads of time here hiking the trails, but unfortunately we had 2 tired and hungry little people to deal with. The journey back to the campsite was around 1 hour 20 and perfect for car naps. And once we arrived back at Rank de Veynes, we prepared some picnic food, got changed and headed to the mini disco for takeaway food, drinks and entertainment. The mini disco started at 8 PM, which is a little late for our children usually, but as they both napped late in the car, they definitely had the energy for it. I, however, was definitely lacking energy by this point. After the disco, the 3-year-old played for a while in the park and then we headed back to our mobile home for a rest before the next morning's inevitable adventure. So the park, there's this one here which is by the bar area, which is probably for bigger children. Then there's the one that we've already seen by the secret pool, as we call it. And there's one opposite the takeaway, which is definitely more for the little children. The next morning, we woke up to another beautiful sunny day and we chose to visit somewhere a little closer to the campsite this time. Around 15 minutes away is the Pont d'Arc. It's another bridge and another river. We couldn't help but throw ourselves into the fresh looking waters and gawp at yet another beautiful bridge. This natural bridge, situated in the Ardèche Gorges, is a great place to canoe, kayak and go for a natural swim. The scenery is absolutely stunning and we felt so, without trying to sound overly hippie, very at one with nature. Whilst it was unbelievably quiet while we were on the riverside, the car parks were filling up and by the time we left, every single one we passed was completely full. So if you have it on your to visit list, I advise going there as early as possible in the morning. Back at the campsite, we decided to take the afternoon easy and I decided to explore the campsite, do some washing and use the laundrette on the campsite. However, they have this new fancy wireless system that definitely did not go to plan. I honestly don't know what's going on. It should have finished 10 minutes ago. And nothing's happening, but it has stopped, but I don't know when I'm going to be able to open it again. What does that even mean? Oh my god. Okay, so I've got the washing out. Then I'm going to put it in another machine. I think I'm going to have to go to reception about this mess now that my clothes have caused. So far so good. Are you watching, Lottie? Oh, J'ai payé pour le séchoir neuf, mais ça marche pas. Et ça dit vous n'avez payé. So as you can probably guess, I paid for number 9 for $4.50 and it's not working. So I'm hoping he brings it back before I waste any more of today in this stupid wash block. With now an angry baby because she wants to go to the pool and I want to go to the pool too. I don't want to waste any more money on my washing. So please call me back now. He finally called me back and the drying is on. Still wasted a good few hours on washing.
The next morning was our last morning and the children and I went for breakfast at the bar as they did a self-service breakfast buffet. I figured it would be a good idea for us to eat there instead of making a mess in the mobile home. So we left Mike packing the car and finishing the Eurocamp housekeeping bits and bobs at the van and enjoyed Nutella on toast, meats, fruit and lots of bread and coffee for me. The buffet cost €12 for over 12-year-olds and €9 for under 12-year-olds. It was a little dear for what we got, but I was more than happy to pay it for us to get out of the accommodation and experience a breakfast that wasn't cooked by me. Sometimes it's really nice to just not make your own food. Once Mike was finished packing, he came to meet us at the bar and we had one final coffee and said goodbye to Rank Devane and the camping season for 2023. So what did we think of the campsite? We absolutely loved the pool facilities, the location and the river, but we definitely felt that there was something missing, perhaps a personal touch or some extra activities. I can't quite put my finger on what it was missing. However, we would be more than happy to return here, and for what we paid, which was £356 for a week during the school summer holidays, it was an absolute bargain of a holiday. So should you visit Rank Devane? If you like pools, rivers, mountains, then absolutely yes. I hope you liked this video and please give it a thumbs up if you liked it and hit the subscribe button to discover more campsites which we'll be reviewing in 2024. See you next time.